I'm from Ireland, it is like quite surprising to me that there are a lack of books here. And I was like, when I was younger, I grew up with books all around me and I was reading them a lot. But since I came here, it's quite different and it's a whole different experience.
How is it a different experience?
The lack of storybooks is quite surprising, since storybooks allow literacy development and books help critical thinking and expression in writing.
To what extent do you think that providing storybooks to children in rural areas who don't have access to them helps complete our project's aim to help develop literacy skills in children and help promote love for literature?
It would make a world of difference because it's a world that they're not familiar with. So if I take you out to space, it might just make a whole lot of difference in your life. So when we're selecting books or giving books, storybooks to kids in the rural areas, you need to keep a few things in mind. Number one, be mindful of the literature that we're sharing with them. Secondly, the language has to be dealt with. They've not got the language skills that we have. So probably go easy, but yes, I do agree with what you're trying to say. It will make a world of impact.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Storybooks allow students to have a wider array of knowledge, right? They may not usually get exposure to some of these things you find in storybooks. For example, a student in Hong Kong can read a storybook about countries of the world and learn about those countries without ever having to visit it. A student reading a book about a character who is sad can make connections to their learning about emotions and feelings. As a teacher, we use books to solidify different teaching strategies. So I can use a book to teach students. We call those mentor texts. Recently, I read a book to my students about volcanoes, and then after the book, we talked about the cause and effect that happened.
Why do you think storybooks are important for a high quality education starting from a young age?
I teach grade 1 students, right? So when I see my students reading, I can tell that it helps them to develop their imagination. It introduces new vocabulary to them, and it can also help them make connections with themselves. For example, I'll have kids reading a book and they'll want to share with me that, hey, I remember something that happened to me. It also happened to this character. Storybooks also give students a chance to learn at the appropriate age level, so they are learning things that they can understand at that age group. Stories really just bring things to life, and they bring the text that you're reading to life, and it helps the kids further understand the story.
और जैसे प्यासा कवा वाली कहानी है, एक बहुत मशहूर कहानी है, वो आपने कभी पढ़ी है खुद से? वो किताबें आपको स्कूल देता है?
आप लोगों को वो किताबें चाहिए कहानियों वाली?
आप शौक से पढ़ेंगे वो किताबें?
आपको वो किताबें क्यों लगता है कि होनी चाहिए? वो आपकी पढ़ाई में कैसे हेल्प करती हैं, कैसे मदद करती हैं आपकी पढ़ाई में?
सारे क्लास में पढ़ता है।
आपको उसको पढ़ के अच्छी सोच हो जाएगी आपकी। जी
गरीब तलबा पढ़ते हैं, इन्हें यूनिफॉर्म वगैरह की और बुक्स वगैरह की प्रॉब्लम है ना, वो आपसे मतलब है जो आप इस बारे में कोई हमारे साथ ना।
मैं आपसे ये गुजारिश करता हूँ कि बच्चों के लिए ऐसी कहानियाँ आप प्रोवाइड करें जो उनके मुस्तकबल को रोशन करें। वमा अलैना इल्लल बलाग।
cobbler,
Yes.
mender,
लड़का मूर्ति के पास अपने जूते मरम्मत
शाबाश।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। आप इस तरह मतलब सारे खैर में कुछ हिस्सा डालते हैं। अल्लाह ताला आपको अजर दे।